The blueprint of discontent, the Angry Brigade unveiled. In the tumultuous landscape of 1970s Britain, a movement known as the Angry Brigade emerged as a symbol of dissent and radical action. This clandestine group, shrouded in mystery and defiance, traces its origins back to the peaceful student demonstrations of 1968, which set the stage for a seismic shift towards a more confrontational approach to societal upheaval. The evolution from peaceful protests to clandestine operations. Initially born from the embers of dissent that characterized the student protests of 1968, the Angry Brigade was a response to the perceived inadequacy of traditional forms of activism. The transformation from peaceful demonstrations to the formation of the clandestine 1st of May group marked a turning point in the group's trajectory, signaling a shift towards more radical and direct methods of resistance. Socio-economic pressures fueling radicalization. Embedded within the social fabric of early 1970s Britain were deep-seated socio-economic pressures that fueled the radicalization of middle-class intellectuals. As economic disparities widened and class inequalities sharpened, disillusionment festered, driving individuals towards more extreme ideologies and actions. The ferment of discontent found fertile ground among those disillusioned with the status quo, propelling them towards the path of rebellion. The dawn of propaganda by the deed. The onset of the Angry Brigade's activities marked the introduction of a new wave of propaganda by the deed, attacks that caught Scotland Yard completely off guard. Through targeted bombings and sabotage, the group sought to amplify their message and disrupt the system from within through direct, confrontational means. The calculated nature of these attacks aimed not only to challenge the establishment, but also to awaken the public to the urgency of their cause. The emergence of the Angry Brigade symbolized a break from conventional forms of dissent, embodying a fusion of defiance, disillusionment, and audacious action. Their journey from student protests to clandestine operations, fueled by socio-economic pressures and culminating in daring acts of propaganda by the deed, serves as a compelling narrative of discontent, resistance, and the unyielding pursuit of societal transformation in the face of adversity. The campaign of the communiqués, unraveling the Angry Brigade's messaging strategy. In the annals of British radical history, the Angry Brigade's campaign of communiqués stands as a testament to their brazen tactics and unyielding commitment to societal upheaval. Deconstructing the chilling rhetoric found in their typed manifestos that were sent to the press after high-profile bombings reveals a narrative of defiance, discontent, and subversion. Deconstructing the chilling rhetoric of the manifestos. The Angry Brigade's typed manifestos carried a chilling blend of revolutionary fervor and incendiary language designed to shock and destabilize the status quo. Through searing critiques of government oppression, capitalism's grip, and societal injustice, the communiqués painted a stark portrait of a group unafraid to confront the establishment head-on. Each manifesto was a declaration of resistance, a call to arms that reverberated with urgency and defiance. Tactical target selection and symbolic acts of defiance. The selection of targets by the Angry Brigade, ranging from government ministries to seemingly incongruous venues like the Miss World competition, displayed a calculated strategy aimed at challenging the very fabric of power and authority. By attacking symbols of state control and cultural conformity, the group sought to disrupt the narrative of complacency and assert their presence in the public consciousness, building the mythos of an unstoppable domestic army. Utilizing underground media channels, the Angry Brigade skillfully crafted a mythos of an unstoppable, invisible domestic army, a force capable of striking anywhere, anytime, with unwavering determination. Through cryptic messages, clandestine interviews, and enigmatic communiqués, they wove a narrative of resistance that transcended physical boundaries and ignited the imagination of a populace yearning for change. The Angry Brigade's campaign of communiqués was not merely a series of missives sent into the void. It was a strategic messaging campaign designed to sow seeds of dissent, fuel revolutionary fervor, and challenge the very foundations of a deeply entrenched system. Through their rhetoric, target selection, and media manipulation, the group transformed themselves into harbingers of change, disruptors of the norm, and architects of a new narrative of resistance and defiance. The Dragnet and the Stoke Newington Eight, unveiling the Angry Brigade's downfall. In the shadowy world of covert operations and relentless pursuit, the tale of the Dragnet and the Stoke Newington Eight unfolds as a harrowing saga of police surveillance, forensic breakthroughs, and high-stakes legal battles that culminated in the dismantling of the Angry Brigade's operations. Intense police surveillance and forensic breakthroughs. The saga began with intense police surveillance operations that sought to uncover the identities and activities of the elusive Angry Brigade members. Through meticulous tracking, wiretapping, and intelligence gathering, law enforcement agencies closed in on leads that eventually led to the pivotal Prescott and Purdy raids. These breakthroughs marked a turning point in the investigation, bringing authorities one step closer to unraveling the clandestine network. The discovery of the bomb factory and incriminating evidence. The dramatic raid on a seemingly ordinary suburban flat exposed the covert bomb factory, a hub of subversion and radical activity concealed in plain sight. Inside, authorities uncovered a trove of incriminating evidence, explosive materials, bomb-making paraphernalia, and damning documents that connected the individuals to a string of high-profile attacks. The revelations shocked the public and solidified the case against the Stoke Newington Eight. From chaotic arrests to high-stakes legal battle. The chaotic arrests of the Stoke Newington Eight marked the culmination of a sweeping law enforcement operation that sought to bring the alleged conspirators to justice. As the suspects were charged and brought before the courts, a high-stakes legal battle began to unfold at the hallowed halls of the Old Bailey. The prosecution presented a case built on forensic evidence, surveillance records, and witness testimonies, setting the stage for a landmark trial that would capture the nation's attention. Bridging the gap, the Old Bailey showdown. The transition from the dramatic arrests to the courtroom drama at the Old Bailey bridged the gap between law enforcement's pursuit of justice and the defendants' fight for their ideals. As the legal battle unfolded, the nation watched with bated breath, witnessing the clash of ideologies, the weight of evidence, and the quest for truth in a trial that would define the legacy of the Angry Brigade and the fate of the Stoke Newington Eight. The Dragnet and the Stoke Newington Eight saga stands as a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice, the complexities of radicalism, and the enduring legacy of a group whose actions sparked a national reckoning with extremism and dissent. Justice on trial at the Old Bailey, the radical defense of the Stoke Newington Eight. In the hallowed halls of the Old Bailey, the scene was set for a trial like no other, the longest conspiracy trial in British history, a clash of ideologies, and a controversial verdict that reverberated through the realms of justice and dissent. The longest conspiracy trial in British history. The trial of the Stoke Newington Eight unfolded as a marathon of legal proceedings, spanning weeks of arguments, testimonies, and deliberations. At its core was a unique strategy employed by the defendants themselves, who chose to represent their own interests in a bold move that defied convention and amplified the tension of the courtroom drama. Defendants in defense, a revolutionary strategy. As the accused radicals took to the stand to defend themselves, a battle of ideologies ensued between the establishment judiciary and the defendants' revolutionary defense. The courtroom became a stage for clashes of rhetoric, where legal arguments intertwined with impassioned pleas for justice, freedom, and the right to challenge oppressive systems. Navigating ideological clashes in the crucible of justice. The trial at the Old Bailey laid bare the deep divides between the entrenched powers of the establishment and the radical fervour of the defendants. Ideological clashes permeated every aspect of the proceedings, as contrasting worldviews clashed in a high-stakes legal battle that had repercussions far beyond the confines of the courtroom. The controversial verdict, a nation divided. The jury's verdict, which saw 4 convictions and 4 acquittals among the Stoke Newington Eight, reverberated throughout the nation amidst claims of police evidence planting and judicial bias. The controversial outcome fueled public debate, with voices on both sides of the ideological spectrum questioning the integrity of the trial and the fairness of the legal system in the face of political dissent. In the end, the trial at the Old Bailey stood as a crucible of justice, a battleground of principles, and a reflection of a society grappling with the complexities of extremism, dissent, and the pursuit of truth. The legacy of the Stoke Newington Eight lives on as a testament to the enduring struggle for justice, the power of dissent, and the complexities of navigating the treacherous terrain of revolutionary ideals in the arena of law and order. Legacy of the urban guerrilla, the Angry Brigade's enduring impact on British society. The legacy of the Angry Brigade, though marked by its downfall, left an indelible imprint on British society, reshaping the landscape of counter-terrorism, internal security, and public perception of dissent and state power. Modernisation of British counter-terrorism. The dismantling of the Angry Brigade catalysed a paradigm shift in British counter-terrorism and internal security measures. The group's defiance and subversive tactics prompted authorities to reassess their intelligence-gathering capabilities, enhance surveillance technologies, and strengthen legislative frameworks to combat emerging threats. The lessons learned from the group's activities led to the modernisation of counter-terrorism strategies, laying the groundwork for a more robust and responsive security apparatus. Comparing 1971 radicalism to contemporary fringe radicalisation. The radicalism of the 1971 Angry Brigade movement bears striking resemblances to contemporary fringe radicalisation in the digital age and the political climate of 2026. While the tools and mediums of propaganda have evolved with technology, the core motivations of dissent, disillusionment, and societal upheaval remain constant across generations. The echoes of past radical movements reverberate in the challenges posed by modern extremism, underscoring the cyclical nature of ideological fringes and the enduring struggle of societies to navigate discord and radicalization. Impact of the trials on public perception. The trials of the Stoke Newington Eight left a lasting impact on the British public's perception of domestic dissent and state power. The drama that unfolded at the Old Bailey illuminated the complexities of justice, dissent, and the delicate balance between individual rights and societal security. The revelations of evidence planting, ideological clashes, and controversial verdicts sparked debates on the limits of state authority, the role of dissent in a democracy, and the fine line between radicalism and protest. In conclusion, the legacy of the Angry Brigade transcends its tumultuous history, extending into the realms of counter-terrorism strategy, societal dynamics, and the ongoing dialogue between dissent and authority. The group's saga serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring tensions between radicalism and state power, urging society to reflect on the complexities of dissent, security, and justice in an ever-evolving landscape of ideological conflict and social change.